Like someone from Africa, I am really worried about this virus getting to Africa. And my worry is can Africa really handle this outbreak?
I think Africa can handle the outbreak because even China, with all those resources, weren't able to handle it just because of education, not because they have a very good economic resources.
Yeah.
But the outbreak was still there. So when there is an outbreak, the most important thing is the education. Because when people even get cured and people still don't know how to prevent themselves from contracting the virus, it will still spread.
Exactly.
So the best thing is, even though we are low in resources, when we take the education serious and we follow the preventive measures, it won't spread that much.
It won't spread that much. Yeah, and can we really trust our leaders to be there for us to have our back in case there's an outbreak? Will be straightforward with us. They will tell us exactly what is going on so that we can better prepare ourselves. I am drawing the example of what happened in China. The Chinese government censored a lot of information about the seriousness of the virus, which has helped in getting the virus totally out of control. So do you think we can trust our leaders to be up to expectations?
Our health system and our health professionals is what we have to deal with here.
Yeah.
Fine. Our leaders will also be protecting themselves.
Exactly.
When it comes in there. And where did they get the information from? They also learned it. So when we rely on our leaders, this is where a lot of people die from these kind of viruses, especially in Africa. Our leaders think more of themselves than the people.
Yeah.
So this is when there is an outbreak like this, or before it gets to Africa or it gets to us, we will go on Google. It's all over social media, everywhere. We try to learn the preventive measures before it even gets to there because we can't rely on our leaders when it comes to stuff like this.
Exactly. And before we go, one more question before we go. We all have seen the quantity of resources that China has poured into this virus outbreak just to get the thing into order, right? But still they are unable to do that, and the thing is spreading out of control. So if there were to be an outbreak in Africa, and given our infrastructures that we have presently, do you think that we have the resources to really fight this virus?
China, you made mention of China, right? And I think they've got all the resources, but it's still spreading, right? They made their mind that they will try to cure those who already have contracted the disease.
Exactly.
Than to put out the preventive measures to people.
Yeah.
That is why it just got out of hands. Because they were like, let's build hospitals. Instead of trying to educate them about the preventive measures. So when with Africa like this, I always make reference to the Ebola.
Exactly.
We got a lot of education in Africa. That's why it just became an epidemic. Because everybody was educated. I don't have to touch this. I don't have to do that. So sometimes when we have limited resources, but then when we are well educated, which is the cheapest way, we can prevent ourselves from contracting such a deadly virus.
You've said it more than enough on what we can do to protect ourselves and our loved ones from this virus. But I also believe that there can't be too much information out there. People still need to hear it again and again for them to take the necessary actions. So I know we haven't had that many cases in Africa. So what advice can you give to the Africans?
Okay, let's talk about the symptoms first. So when you find out that a colleague has the symptoms like fever, coughing, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing, you can report to the nearby health facility. Yeah. These are the symptoms of the virus.
Yeah.
And personal preventive measures. Number one will be washing your hands frequently.
Exactly.
And of course, when you are sitting in a car, you cannot wash your hands. So you have to get something like hand sanitizer or an alcohol.
Yeah.
And secondly, we have to keep distance from people who are sneezing or coughing. A meter distance is okay. If we can, then it's better we put on our protective mask to avoid any respiratory droplets from those who cough. And the next one is behavior, talking about what we eat. So this virus is contracted through meat.
Yeah.
So it's better we abstain from it, or when we buy meat from the market, we have to cook it thoroughly, very well, before we eat them. And of course, we have to keep our surroundings clean.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for having this conversation with us.
Welcome.